Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Ludwig van Beethoven. Two musical titans, one immortal legacy. The history of human creativity is shaped by the minds of those who were able not only to master their craft but to transcend it. Among the giants who reshaped the very language of music, two names rise like monuments above all others: Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart and Ludwig van Beethoven. 1. The divine prodigy whose effortless brilliance illuminated the classical era; the other, the revolutionary titan whose storm-like genius pushed music into the Romantic Age. Though separated by only a generation, their temperaments, creative visions, and artistic destinies could not have been more different. This detailed comparison will explore their compositional styles, their personalities, their contributions to the evolution of Western music, and the cultural impact each one left, maintaining the same seamless narrative format without tables or interruptions. Mozart. The celestial prodigy, the vision of perfect harmony. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, born in Salzburg in 1756, emerged into the world as a phenomenon unlike any other. A child prodigy shaped by rigorous musical training and his own unparalleled natural gift, Mozart began composing at the age of 5 and performing before European royalty soon after. His life, though tragically short, was a cascade of masterpieces that seemed to flow from him with miraculous ease. The essence of Mozart's musical strategy was clarity, balance, and emotional purity. His writing embodied the ideal form and symmetry of the classical style, yet with a warmth and fluidity that elevated it beyond academic perfection. Mozart did not need grand gestures or dramatic storms to captivate audiences; he persuaded through elegance. Each melody felt inevitable, as if it had always existed and only required Mozart to reveal it. One of his greatest strengths was his instinctive understanding of the human voice. Operas like The Marriage of Figaro, Don Giovanni, and The Magic Flute demonstrate a mastery of character, psychology, and dramatic pacing that has rarely been equaled. His orchestral works, including the last three symphonies, 39, 40, and 41, remain paragons of clarity and emotional resonance. Mozart composed with speed that bordered on the supernatural. Manuscripts show almost no corrections, as if his works arrived complete, requiring only transcription. Musicians and scholars alike have described his creative process as dictation from God. Yet beneath the effortless surface lay an intellectual depth that redefined the structural possibilities of sonatas, concertos, and symphonies. His legacy is anchored in the refinement of musical language. He crystallized the classical style, perfecting harmonic clarity, transparent textures, and lyrical themes. Though he died at only 35, his influence has echoed across centuries of composition, performance, and pedagogy. Mozart did not break rules; he embodied them so perfectly that future generations would measure themselves against the standard he set. Beethoven. The defiant revolutionary, the strategy of transformation. Ludwig van Beethoven, born in Bonn in 1770, came into music not as a prodigy of divine light but as a force of raw, unyielding will. Trained harshly from childhood and shaped by personal struggle, Beethoven emerged into adulthood with an iron ambition to push music beyond every limit it had previously known. His arrival in Vienna marked the beginning of a new era, one ruled by unprecedented emotional depth, structural innovation, and the fearless expansion of musical boundaries. Beethoven's genius lay not in effortless perfection but in conflict, tension between tradition and revolution, between inner vision and physical decline. Where Mozart charmed, Beethoven challenged. Where Mozart flowed, Beethoven exploded. His compositional strategy was built on contrast, dramatic transformation, and thematic development of unmatched intensity. Central to his technique was his mastery of motivic development. Beethoven could take the smallest fragment, a rhythmic gesture, or a simple interval, and build an entire symphonic universe from it. Works like the Fifth Symphony, with its iconic four-note motif, demonstrate his ability to transform simplicity into overwhelming power. As his deafness progressed, Beethoven's creativity deepened rather than diminished. Cut off from the world of sound, he entered a realm of pure imagination that gave birth to works of towering magnitude: the Eroica Symphony, the Appassionata Sonata, the late string quartets, and the monumental Ninth Symphony, whose choral finale shattered every convention of the symphonic tradition. Beethoven's legacy is revolutionary. He redefined what music could express and expanded the emotional vocabulary of Western art. He transformed the role of the composer from craftsman to visionary, creating works not for courtly entertainment but for the spiritual and intellectual awakening of humanity. In every measure of his music, there is a sense of struggle, triumph, and transcendence, a blueprint for the Romantic era. The competitive bond and the difference in destiny. Though they lived in overlapping historical periods, Mozart and Beethoven represented opposite poles of artistic creation. Both reshaped the musical world, yet their personalities, methods, and destinies diverged profoundly. Mozart's life was defined by ease of creation, social charm, and an ability to master every musical form with seemingly divine grace. Beethoven's life was defined by struggle, isolation, and a relentless fight against fate, most notably the loss of his hearing, which would have ended a lesser musician. Mozart sought beauty, balance, and natural expression. Beethoven sought truth, intensity, and the transformation of musical language. Mozart perfected the classical tradition, Beethoven shattered it to create the Romantic world. Mozart's genius was fluid and intuitive, Beethoven's genius was architectural, built through revision, force of will, and monumental perseverance. Yet the two share one profound bond, each changed the course of music forever. Mozart demonstrated what musical perfection could sound like. Beethoven demonstrated what the human spirit could overcome. Mozart left a universe of grace, Beethoven left a universe of fire. Both revealed that music is not merely entertainment but a reflection of humanity's deepest emotions, dreams, and battles. They are not only masters of composition, they are the two central pillars of Western music, each defining an era and inspiring all who followed. If you liked this comparison, don't forget to support the channel. Likes, comments, and subscribing keep content like this alive. Which great figures should we compare next?